Hi, so this is Delia by Melbourne Instruments. They're an Australian boutique company. A couple of years ago I showed you Nina, which was their first product, and this one is very similar except it's cheaper. It's got a keyboard, very similar feature set. The big selling point with both synths is the moving potentiometers, so when you change a patch everything moves and you know exactly where you are. Might seem like a gimmick, but it really isn't. It's so useful. I'll show you later. I've made a sound bank for this, which you'll be able to download free from their website. Probably won't be up yet, but it will be soon. I love the synth. It's really progressive, very interesting. You can get a wide range of tones with it. Let's check it out. Okay, so you've got three oscillators. The first two are virtual analog and they sweep between a triangle and a pulse wave. Oscillator 1's also got a sub on it, which is a square. Oscillator 2 is identical to 1 except it doesn't have the sub and it has a sync. They sound really good, the virtual analogs, to me. It's very similar to the tones on Nina. Maybe slightly harder sounding, but in a way it's not a bad thing. You can get some kind of really punchy sounds with it. Oscillator 3 is a wavetable, which makes this synth really flexible because you've got these virtual analog tones and then this wavetable that you can throw in. I'll just scan for a few. Now, Oscillator 4 is not really an oscillator, but it can provide you with either white noise, or you can have this XOR, which is a kind of cross mod. It's quite interesting. And then you can use external sources as well. And also you've got this loop feature here, which is very interesting. At its extreme level, basically it's feeding the sound back in and it just feeds back like nuts. But if you have lower amounts of it, it can just be a thickening tool. You have to find the sweet spot, but there's without it. Bring it in. So you've got two filters, a low pass, which can be either 12 dB or 24 dB, and a high pass. Now if you put it in 12 dB mode, it's very, very benign. There's almost no resonance. It's a bit of a shame. It'd be nice if there was a bit more, but that's it with maximum resonance. but I do feel it sounds really nice. It sounds very warm. So if you want kind of not resonant type Oberheim string sort of patches, it can do that really well, better than the 24 dB. So there is a point to it, but it's a little bit limited. You've also got a high pass filter here. I should say the low pass filter is analog, but the high pass filter is digital, but it still sounds really good. And you can link the two, which will give you a bandpass filter. That was great. And you've also got this drive function here on the filter, which is great. So for instance, on this sound, no drive, full drive. So it's quite a flexible tool. You've got 3 envelopes here. It's really cool. You've got an aux envelope and you can repurpose that for whatever you like. And you've also got 3 LFOs on the synth. The modulation destinations and the mod matrix are really what makes this synth very special, in my opinion. The way they've designed both this and Nina are absolutely incredible. It's so easy to modulate anything and you can see exactly what you're doing. Let me show you what I mean. So you've got a very basic sequencer here, which you can just input steps into. And I'm going to run that whilst showing you the mod matrix. Now basically, when you press this mod button here, all of these buttons across here have different sources of modulation. So let's select LFO 1. And now, while I'm in this mode, anything I tweak is going to be affected by LFO 1. So if I run the sequence, even effects, if I put an effect on here. So cool, you can make instantly interesting sequences like this, just messing around. And the great thing is, and this is where these motorized pots really come into their own. Once I click on that, I can see exactly what I've done. And I can easily undo any of it. I can see exactly what's going on. That is the genius of this design. And it just makes sound design so easy, so fluid. And you can do some other interesting things, like you can use the panner. It's got 6 voices, so each one will step through and you can have each one of them do some different modulations to the sound. So let's go into panner. Again, I can just do it on the fly. think you can get the idea. It's really interesting. You know, I'm definitely going to be using this a lot when I want to get a crazy effect or something really techy and interesting into a production. This is your puppy. It's going to be fantastic for that all day long. And you've also got this amazing feature called Morph, which is basically each patch has 2 patches within it, an A and a B. So I can morph between the 2. And if I do it with the sequencer running, you can get the idea. I love that. I love that side of this machine. I think it's really progressive, you know. I think a lot of people are going to do very interesting stuff with this, particularly dance producers. You know, the world's your lobster, it really is. You've also got 2 synth engines in here, so you can have 2 totally different sounds going together, either split or layered. This keyboard is 6-note polyphonic, which might not seem a lot of polyphony when you've got 2 layers going on. But, you know, you can have 5 notes and a bass sound, or, you know, a mono lead with some chords down the low end. But you can also put it into this 12 voice mode, whereby what happens, I think, is 2 of each of the voices share a filter. So the sound is a bit weaker, but still works fine. That then enables you to use the unison mode, because it's got a great unison mode here. You can sort of detune it and have it all spread out. Effects wise, you've got 2 slots and you can have chorus, delay or reverb. There's not loads of choices, but they're really good sounding. Same as on Nina. And a really lovely reverb. It's got a nice shimmer feature on it. You've also got a delay, which is cool, does the job. See how easy it is to get really nice sounds on it. I just really love the innovative approach Melbourne Instruments make, and they engineer it so well. It's just made like an absolute tank. You really feel it's very reliable. It always does what it's supposed to. You know, when you go into a different mode, these things always denote what they should denote, and I love that about it. So from a sound design point of view, it's just a dream, because you always know exactly where you are. And you have to say, all keyboards should have this. All keyboards should have these motorized faders, because they're absolutely wonderful.